my screen. So, before I kind of start and go over bits and pieces, you're going to see my screen pop up in a second. But is there anything that anyone in particular wanted to go over, or anything that people are finding struggling with the new app itself? Don't worry, everybody.
I haven't tried using it yet, so I thought tonight would be a good introduction on how to get the basics.
Yep. Yeah, which is pretty much what it's going to be anyway. But if there is anything that anyone thinks of, feel free to jump in. So all I've done is I've created my own client account. So this is what you'll see on yours. So the bits up the top there, so these ones here, if you can see where my, no, you can't, if I press on the ones up the top, so running, 1 out of 5, 84.5, meal added and drinks. So they're all your goals, your habits and your body stats that when you do your goal session will be added for yourself to see. So your body stats are the ones that happen very similar to a weekly report. To make sure you're weighing yourself in every week. You can do it all the time. You can do it every day, but at the same time, you can just do it once a week, which is completely fine as well. The 1 out of 5 is just what I call my weights session, as over the next, I have 5 blocks that I need to complete. Running is something that I needed to do today, which I have done, but I haven't ticked it off. If you tick it off, it looks like markers complete. I can say how far that I went or how long I did. So it was 1 hour and 10, and I went, it was something like 9.8. I can't remember exactly. If I click next, you can do this with all activity, and then you press save, and it gives you a big thumbs up. All right. So it's the same with your weight sessions as well. When your trainer tracks them, it'll come up with all your PBs and what you have achieved. And if it's something more of a streak, then it will come up as a streak as well. If you wanted to add a one-off activity, so it's not in your calendar, all you do is in the bottom right-hand corner, you'll see where there's a plus activity, and then whatever you did. So it's got running, cycling, rowing, everything in there. Let's just go for cycling. Same sort of thing. You can mark as complete and it will give you all the stats and you can fill them in just as is. Or if you have tracked them on your watch, it will automatically upload as well if it has synced. Any questions in regards to activity tracking? Negative? Ace. Perfect. The next one is meal tracking. So the meal tracking is one that a few people have been struggling with because people will default to going to the knife and fork that's in the bottom right-hand corner. If you do have that, that's more of a guide for you. So for me, you can see up the top, it says 2,214 calories per day. That's a very specific number, but that's how many calories if I ate everything on this list. So if I had plant-based wrap, sirloin steak, stuffed potato, and then another potato as well, stuffed potato, then it will come out to 2,214 calories. So this is really good to follow if you are into your cooking or you like your cooking or you just don't know what you need to have. In the past, I know that a lot of people have done nutrition sessions where they've also gone and looked at snacks like a YoPro, for example, so a yogurt, something quick and easy. I definitely don't expect people to cook 4 meals a day, 7 days a week. That would be crazy. So it will obviously look a bit different, but it is good to go in and have a look and get a little bit of inspiration for what you are cooking if you have no idea what you need to do. If one of the recipes does interest you, all you need to do is press on it, and then it will come up with everything. So it comes up with not only the calories, but the macros as well. So proteins, 49, carbs, 69, then fats, 27. And then also has all the ingredients and what you need to do to make the, sun-dried tomato chicken wraps. So it's pretty straightforward. And if it's something that you don't like, say, for example, you don't like sun-dried tomatoes for whatever reason, in the top right-hand corner, you'll see a overly with 2 arrows. Click that one, and then you can pick from there. It'll give you a couple more options with similar macros and calories for whatever meal it may be as well. Questions so far? There's a lot in the nutrition section, so I might stop at each point.
I've got a question. If you're using MyFitnessPal to track food, can you still access these recipes and whatnot?
You can still access them. It should still come up. The only thing, it needs to be set by the trainer for the client. So it can be done in your goal session, which is when it's supposed to be done. But I can go into your training program now and make one for you.
Okay, cool.
So based off of your calories, it'll come to be whatever it may be. 1,700, whatever it may be, and it will come up with a food plan for you as well.
Cool.
No worries.
Austin, a question. I'm actually doing okay in terms of adding meals, but how do I add a meal to favorites?
So I'll show you right now. So what you do is, so you're on this screen here to add a meal. So to go to the steps that David's already at, you do the plus, and then you do meal. So, sorry, I'll go a bit slower. It's plus, and it's got everything that's there. You can tick meal. It will ask you to take a photo straight away. I've looked into it, and I don't know a way that you can bypass it. I know Rob Watson has asked me, how do you just go straight to your tracking? And there doesn't seem to be a way, so I'll endeavour to look for that one as well.
Down the bottom, there's skip photo. I've been skipping the photo.
That's the easiest way to do it. So some people are trying to get it so that they don't have to even look at the photo. Photo is there more for if you've got no idea what you're eating, then you can take a photo, and at the end of it, you can put comments in as well. So you can help your trainer out in trying to understand around what it is. You're never going to get it right if you haven't it out or you just don't know what's in it. But that's the best way for it as well. So if you're trying to add a favorite, I've just kind of got a few things. I've started to add some stuff just to see what it does. But say, for example, you were to have Wheat Bix with milk. So Wheat Bix, you can change the serving size at the top. So I have 2 biscuits, 110, just say you had 4, 5. Save, and then you can plus, and then you can add your other things as well. So milk's already there, so I have already added it as an option. Let's just say I use 150 mils of it. So if you press on where it says cup, it's got all the options for you. So you go mils, press on the 150, and then add plus. The way that you get to what it is you go review, and then you can see what it may be. So for this, obviously, your Wheat Bix and your milk, it'll show you how many calories it is in the top right-hand corner there, and then also show you the breakdown of the macronutrients as well. All you then do is you log, and then up the top with all the other things, it's there. So you can see for me, I put a meal in this morning just to see what it would do. So it's got 2 meals, calories, what should be 2,200. I've got 1,450 remaining. Protein, I've got 122 remaining. Carbs, I've got 100 remaining. And then fats, I have 59 remaining. So David, you're asking how you favourite it. All you do on this screen, you press on where the 2 meals are added. And so see, well, I added it at dinner time, the Wheat Bix and milk. All you do is you press the 3 little dots next to it.
Okay,
And then you got save to favorite.
Ah, gotcha. Beautiful.
And then you can name it. 5 Wheat Bix. Save. And then when you go, if you were to add it again, so same again, plus meal, down the bottom it's got favorites, and then it drops up that top left-hand corner as well. If you take a photo, obviously it will come up there as a photo just normally as well. The more that you kind of look into it and add favorites, obviously the more that you'll have as well. And then you can also go discover and kind of put bits and pieces in. So say, for example, you wanted something with chicken, you can just look up chicken and it will come up with everything chicken in it as well. The other thing that's really useful with the discover section is you can filter a lot of things out. So if you look at the top right hand corner, I've already got 3 that are there. So you can go up to 30 minutes, up to an hour. So if you don't have much time, obviously do up to 30 minutes. And then you can take things out as well. I noticed in the big meal plans, it likes to put, especially for the first one, and I'm not too sure why, it likes to put a lot of pork. So I've had a few people that are just like, just get rid of it and then I'll work it out from there. But you can pick to have without it. You can pick to do no cooking or cooking. So whatever it may be, there's lots of options that you can choose from on this one as well. Any questions in regards to food? May as well ask me now.
When you put in the meals, like, so if you type in Foods meals and you type in like the exact type of meal, the calories aren't always accurate to what's actually, so like sometimes if you scan the barcode it won't come up, but then you type in the actual type of food and it will come up the type of food, but then the fats might be less than what's actually on
The fats on here are less, or the fats on the?
No, the fats on the actual app are less.
Okay.
Yeah. But it's the same description. It's exactly like, it might be like 1 gram or 2 grams.
Yeah, okay. But that's only when you scan it, yeah?
No. Even when you
just
type
look
it
it up.
in.
Yeah, okay.
So like you type it in, I mean, because I'm looking at what's on the actual meal and it's different to what's in that app.
Okay.
So but then I'll have to manually add it. But to be honest, sometimes I don't, because I'm just like, that'll do.
Yeah, okay. All right.
If it's 2 or 3 grams out.
If there's anything that does come up like that, one, let me know. And send me a photo of it. That's why the photos are quite good to use as well. So if there is anything that's a little bit off.
So just you look at it now, so that's
Could it be because they calculate fat different? Like they just might do it as saturated fat on the packaging?
That's the only thing I could think of. So you're talking on the front of the packet and then here is more?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking it is. It's because it's like when they say, it's like sugar.
Yeah.
When they put sugar on a thing, and then they have like your sucrose and all the other different types of sugar. So could it be that it's different types of fat that are added into that are actual on the app, but not right on not as you would see it on the package?
Yeah. Jimmy's just
Does that make sense?
Photo of the front of the package, and I think that's what the fats is lower on. So usually, there you go. You already found out a trick. Thanks to Jimmy. Sometimes they put on the front of it the fats, and they kind of trick you into thinking that it's good. They don't put the saturated fats on it. So something might say 10 grams of fat or 15 grams of fat for like a ready-made meal. And then when you actually go and turn it around, or in Jimmy's case, has scanned it, the fats are a bit higher because they don't put the saturated fats on the front of the packet because they don't want you to think that it's too high in fats. So sneaky marketing. that you can all learn at shopping tours.
I may have been on one or two of those.
Maybe something like that. Hey.
Great cross promotion, Austin.
Anything else in regards to meals that people are struggling with or are interested kind of knowing about? Because this one, you only need to log things and then your trainer can see it. There's not two sections to it, which is quite good. The only thing is having to go skip the photo and then you can add it as normal. You can take a photo of it as well. That's no harm, but some people just wanted to go past it. That's all. But any questions in regards to food?
Is it different doing it on the PC? It is than it is doing it on your phone?
It is a little bit different on the PC. You can't track food, but you can say that for example, you've put a meal in there. You can say that you've eaten it, but you can't track per se. You can do it on an iPad, which is pretty user friendly. But in regards to doing it on the laptop, you can only tick things off. So, say for example, you see where my cycle is, like I can not that. But like I can tick off that I've drunk 2 liters of water. Like I can press complete on the computer. But I can't go in and go like I had Wheat Bix, milk, a yogurt, and this and that. You can only tick off that you've had it.
Yep, cool.
That's all. Anything else in regards to meals? Negative. Ace. Perfect. So these things up the top that have all the tick boxes are what you set in your goal session. So you'll see especially the bottom one, it'll have a finger with a ribbon around it. They're called your habits. So if you go into the bottom, the one on the middle right where the star is, it'll have your goals. And then I'll also have your, oh no, it won't. That's annoying. It doesn't have my habits. There you go. There's my habits there. So your habits will be down the bottom and then your goal will be up the top. So my goal, Ironman June 15th. So yours will be whatever it may be. But you can go and see that now yourself. And then even down the bottom as well. The best thing about it is it creates a streak. So the more that you do it, the higher the streak goes. Obviously, that's how a streak works. But you can go and see it. You can go and look at like, okay, how am I going? How many days have I done this? Or say, for example, your goal is to come to cross training on Tuesday and Thursday. Then you can set the goal to only come up on Tuesday and Thursday. And then your streak will play into that. So it won't be Tuesday, 1 day streak, Wednesday you lose it because there's no cross train. It'll be Tuesday, Thursday, 2 day streak. Okay, cool. Next week, Tuesday, Thursday, 4 day streak. So that's quite cool and should help people a little bit more in that regard as well. And then also to your goal, it gives you a little bit of a percentage progression. So the longer that you into it, you'll be able to kind of see and know when your next goal session is going to be as well. So I only added mine in today. That's why it says null. But for example, I've been training since October, November. So obviously the progression will be a little bit further along the line. And then in 12 weeks time, I'm due for my next goal session. Your habits can stay the same as well. That they will stay in there until you take them out, but your goal will go away after the 12 weeks unless you set it again. So see up the top, if I press current, it'll have past. I don't have any past because I haven't done one of these before. But the cool thing is you can go in and see your goals now without having to take a photo of the screen when you finish your goal session. And the cool thing is it reminds you. So it comes up here. So that bottom one saying drink 2 to 3 litres of water per day. I just put that in there as a habit because it was the top one to click. So I put that in to show people what you can do in terms of ticking it off as well. Any questions in regards to goal sessions, habits, goals, whatever it may be? Negative? Cool. Awesome. This is probably one of the screens that I like the most that you can see as well. Just like with your goal sessions and what you put in your goals, you can also track a lot more things and have a dashboard to see it yourself without it being too squashed together. So if you add your watch, for those that have watches, onto this, or for people that don't, they can add their phone onto it. There's a bunch of sleeping apps if you want to track your sleep as well. But it will come up in here. So your steps will consistently show up. Your sleep consistently shows up. Your weight will show up as well. It'll give you a graph over time. Your body fat is to be added when you do your goal session and your bioscan, so you can see how that progresses. Your photos are just normal. They're your photos. And you can go back and look at them. So if you press it, for example, it gives you a bit of a better way to take them. So it actually gives you lines. So even if, say, for example, you go away for 6 months of the year, you can still do these yourself if it's something that you want to do, and see the progression and see where you're going. So you don't even need us to be right there in the room with you, but we can still take you through that one as well. Okay, cool. And then also it's got your resting heart rate, which is also tracked through your watch. Lean body mass, again, is tracked through your bioscan. Your blood pressure, which we take in your goal session, you can go in and see yourself, which is quite cool. I think this is a really cool feature for everyone to be able to go and see and see what's done. Being on a fitness journey or being on a fat loss journey, whatever it may be for yourself, you should see a trend of it going downwards. Obviously, if it's quite good, you won't see too much. But if you are someone that does have high blood pressure, or you're taking medication for your blood pressure as well, it'll be really, really cool to see the graph of it going down. And it also makes it easier for you when you go to the doctor as well, that you can kind of show them how it has tracked over a 12, 24, or 48 week period as well. Calories burned, don't worry about that too much. That's one that I don't like in there. But calorie intake is based off of what food that you have had over the day as well. Any questions on the dashboard at all? I think you're muted, David.
If I heard you correctly, does that mean that the goal sessions are now 12 weekly rather than 9 weekly, every 9 weeks?
They are 12 weekly. So
or 12, every 12 weeks, yeah.
So yeah, so it's an extra 4 weeks. It is, or extra 3 weeks. It just turns into 3 4-week blocks now as well. It also means you do 4 goal sessions over the year, compared to 5 to 6. So that's that'll help you a bit more as well, and also give you a bit more time to, if you have decided to go on holiday for 2 weeks, you can play a bit of the catch-up game for a bit longer, and hopefully get to your goal as well.
Yep, all good, thank you.
No worries. The other thing as well is you do get achievement, so that the more that you do in your sessions and the more that you do outside your sessions, you will kind of start to see these badges. So it's kind of like a little memento and something to keep you going as well, especially outside your sessions when you don't have a trainer. So you can see down the bottom there for me, it goes, you ran for 10 kilometers. So there's cool little badges like that. And when I got it as well, it doesn't say it there. When I got it as well, it said how to get the next badge of that category. So say, for example, you went for a walk for an hour and it gave you a badge. It might be like, okay, the next one is a 2-hour walk, for example. My one was a 10K run, and so the next one I get is a 20K run. So it gives you almost little goals without having to do a goal session, or without actually doing a goal session with a trainer. It kind of keeps you going as well, especially with your workouts. One of the great things about this app as well is it tells you when you've hit a PB and congratulates you for it. And the trainer doesn't have to really remember the numbers in their head. Like it's all in this app, and it will come up when you've hit a PB. It'll be like 10 rep max of weight X, or it'll be like heaviest you've lifted by X amount of kilos, 20 kilos, whatever it may be. It shows you a big percentage increase as well. It can show of a certain weight or of a certain exercise, and also of the training program as well. So at the end of every session, something like that does come up on our iPads. So even if you've seen the graph, it says not very hard, somewhat hard, hard, extremely hard, it comes up just before that one as well. So make sure you get your trainers to actually show you what it's saying, or even ask them to make sure they're not just skipping past it, because there's really, really good things and important things for yourself, and little milestones that sometimes you don't even know that you've hit in your weight session. Sometimes you're just like, oh yeah, that was an okay session, but in reality you've gone up by 4 or 5% overall of your total expenditure or total lifts for that day as well. Any burning questions on that sort of stuff? Ace, perfect. The other thing that I did want to show you is a couple of these things down the bottom as well. So mine looks very chaotic at the minute. So this is the calendar. So you will kind of see the little calendar icon is blue. So that's what I'm under. So everything that I have put in here are things that I need to do. So I half copied my training program. So I've got swimming on a Wednesday, cycling on a Thursday, cycling Friday, running Saturday, cycling and running on Sunday. And then you can see consistently as well, it has that drinking 2 to 3 litres of water as well. So your calendar might look a little bit different to what this one does, but this will show you when you need to train. This will show you when you need to do those little habits. So whether it be drink your 2 to 3 litres of water, whether it be tracking your food, whether it be AFDs, so alcohol-free days, whatever it may be, 10,000 steps in a day, however many hours of sleep, it will come up and it will remind you. And then you have the option to tick it off if you've done it as well. So this is important to see and make sure that you are doing things, especially if you're doing a bit of training on your own. So if you are doing 1 session a week, or you have got like a cross train in there or whatever it may be, is going in there and actually ticking it off so your trainer knows that you have completed it, and so that it adds to your total cardio, total weights number for the week as well. So that's in the calendar. And as well, I was kind of saying before, if there's anything that isn't in the calendar that you have gone and done, you just press the plus button and then go into activity or workout, which is in the top right hand corner after you press that tick, that plus, sorry.
Now, what does CrossFit show up as in that activity list?
So in this, it'll pretty much, at the minute, it kind of just shows up as general or HIIT class or fitness class.
Okay.
It'll be, it doesn't actually matter which one it is, as long as there's something that is in there. Because at the minute, the 2 platforms haven't completely integrated. So we don't actually have a, there won't be a cross train or a base or whatever class we have. It'll just be as close as we can get to it for the time being.
Okay, thanks.
No worries. And the other thing down the bottom that I did want to show you as well is your own weights program. So I've only got the 1 in there at the minute, but this is not only important for the people that do 1 session a week, but also really important for the people that go away, or they train, or they go away for work, or whatever it may be. Is your trainer can set you a program for a gym, they can set you a home program, they can set you a stretch program, they can set you anything. So whether it be stretching, extra weight session while you're away, weight session without weights, for example, we can go and add that, and you can go and track it so we see what you've done. So this is very, very similar to the trainer's version, but all you need to do is press on the workout. It'll show you all the exercises, and then what you do from there is you just press start now, and then you can substitute exercises if need be. So if there isn't something, but the idea would be, if you're away, is there's 2 programs to kind of go over and go through. So you shouldn't need to substitute. And then tap here to see previous stats. So you can kind of see on that right hand side, it's already it's already got stuff in there. So it's like 8 for 70, 8 for 70, 8 for 85, similar sort of things. And it's got a little stopwatch on there as well. So you can kind of see in between, it's got rest for 90 seconds. All you need to do to rest for 90 seconds is press start, and up in the top there, it has a countdown. So you don't even have to think, oh, look at a watch. You just need to press it, and then it will go. At the end of the 90 seconds, it will just be like, done. Go into what else you need to do. Go to the next one. So this, as I was saying before, really, really important for people to do in their own weight session, their own training session, or even just a session when they are away. And then when you complete it all, so say, for example, I'm just going to autofill this stuff just to kind of get through it to the end. You've done everything. You're all good to go. You press save. You then get this rating. So let's just say it was hard. You can put a comment in there for your trainer. So if there was anything that you found it particularly hard, or anything that was really easy, or whatever it may be, you struggled with XYZ, put it in the comments. The trainer can then change the program if need be. But if not, you can just put a normal comment in. That's all right. And it pops up straight away for us trainers. All you do is done, and then it will come up with this screen right here. Obviously, because all I did was tick exactly the same as I did last time, it'll just come up with 2 workouts and no personal bests, for example. So that's why there was no badges or anything in that workout. Any questions on tracking your own activity or your own exercises in the weights section, or strength or stretch, or whatever you want to call it? Negative?
Just one question. The history of the previous app, is that just what it is now, history? There's no way of importing the information from the previous app into this app?
Yes, unfortunately, that's one of the things that we can't bring across.
Right.
That sort of data. But in saying that, a lot of the trainers do remember a lot of the big numbers, especially, which is quite good for your big list, but don't have all of the numbers in our head, unfortunately.
Right.
Most of the trainers can't count, so I doubt they remember a lot of your other numbers.
Okay.
I'm included. I can't count either.
HR.
Isn't that part of personal training school? They unteach you how to count.
Yeah, exactly. All personal trainers, the first thing I take them through is how not to count. They got to pass that test first. Then in regards to other things as well, so you see up the top there, it's got a few badges, but you can see there Connect. So it's got your Apple Watch, Fitbit, MyFitnessPal, Garmin, all those, Apple Health, all those sort of things. So if you don't have a watch, you can connect your Apple Health, and it will slowly bring in your steps. But if you do have a watch, I highly recommend connecting that one as well. It does just help out with steps, sleep, resting heart rate as well. Resting heart rate's a really important one to see how your fitness levels are increasing. I found this out from my girlfriend, so I thank her very much. My girlfriend never used to wear her watch when she slept, so her resting heart rate was quite high. So if you don't wear it while you sleep, just let your trainer know, because otherwise you might go, that's really, really high, because that's exactly what I said to my girlfriend. And we worked out that she just didn't wear it to bed. So go off whatever number it is, but do let your trainer know if you're not wearing your watch to bed. It's completely fine not to. It'll just change the number from what it should be. That's all. But highly recommended to connect that one as well. Questions on connecting watches, app, anything? Beautiful. Perfect. For the most part, that's kind of it. There's not too much more to it. I'd recommend kind of just going over bits and pieces of how to do it yourself. So actually go and tracking the food yourself, tracking and exercise yourself, you will end up coming up with more questions. I promise you will. But it's pretty self-explanatory for people that haven't actually used it or haven't used certain sections. It will give you pointers. So you might have seen before when I opened my weights for the second time, it actually told me where to substitute and where to time. So it comes up with little pop ads of like how to do it, and you just press got it, or you can just read over it and find out what to do in that regard as well. So strongly encourage you to use it and track things and muck it up and do it really well, and then go ask your trainer what things are, because as much as I would have answered today of questions, I think there will still be a few things where you're like, oh, I don't know how to do that. So go in, track it yourself, and you'll kind of see bits and pieces of how to do it. Another thing that is in there as well is in the bottom right hand corner, you'll see your messages, which for whatever reason can't press on. My app's just completely frozen. You can see messages. A few of them are automated to come through to you, but feel free to ask any app questions through this, because it will come to us. So if I message me, it'll come to me, but yours should look similar. So obviously for Scott, you'll be the same as me, and Jibby will have me, but you'll have your other trainers up there as well, to ask any questions about the app, which is quite cool to stay within that one as well. So if there's something particular, you can take a screenshot and then send it and be like, how do I do this? What do I do? What have I done? How do I fix it? Any sort of those questions, then you can ask it through there. But in regards to weights, activity, meals, all you got to remember is to press that plus button, and you'll be pretty sweet to get to everywhere really, whether it be activity, weights, meal, photos, body stats, or sleep. It helps you completely. Before we wrap up, is there any other questions? Because in regards to the majority of it, that's kind of all I've got for you for the moment.
Not really. Austin, it's Robert here.
Hey, Rob.
Hey, look, I've only just starting on this, as you know, but it looks reasonably straightforward. And I will be asking you for some help. I think I'm slightly, well, until I get going on it.
Yeah.
The food part of it, the meals, I think it's going to be, but once I set up when it says favorites, does that mean like meals that you have regularly?
It's just meals that you can add together. So it doesn't have to be particularly meals that you have regularly, but so say for example, you've got a list of 10 things that you put into one meal.
Yeah.
You add it to your favorite, so you don't have to put 10 things again. You just put Rob's whatever.
Yeah.
Meal. Then you can go from there and add it. So you don't have to add 10 things, you only have to add one.
Yeah, all right. Because I tend to have like a repertoire of, I don't know, maybe dozen or 20 things different for lunch and dinner. And so I can just, I'll work that out. I just got to get them in there each time though. But just, I think the message I'm hearing is it's taking a bit of time to set up, and that's all right. And I did get my automated message from Ruben.
He would have, he definitely messaged you, because he's definitely not on the plane or anything.
So, so that was good.
Perfect.
But so I haven't really got any questions. I mean, my questions are going to be detailed questions when I get going on it, which I'll do. I'll have a little go tonight with tonight's meal, and then I'll just take it from there.
Awesome. Perfect. Yeah. The best thing is play around with it.
Thank you very much.
Ask the questions that you do. If there's anything that's extremely burning for whatever reason, if you go into the bottom right-hand corner, I believe I saw it just before, there's the watch the getting started video. So there'll be bits and bobs of how to do certain things. Or this will be recorded, or this is recorded, and it'll just be chucked up on YouTube, and I can send a link out so you can go back over it if need be. But if there isn't any more questions, negative.
Can I be cheeky and ask you a question about my fitness pal?
Unbelievable. Yes, you can.
Unbelievable. It's outrageous. Was I right in thinking that we get premium membership with my fitness pal?
Nikki, that is a great question. I'll have to get back to you.
No worries.
I'll let you know. I'll have a look into it and see what it is, because I'm not too sure.
Okay, cheers.
Easy. Perfect. Well, I hope everyone has a lovely night. Thank you all for coming. It'll all be chucked up on YouTube, and I'm sure if you have any questions, ask in the app, ask your trainer in person, or feel free to come to myself as well. I'm more than happy to answer any questions. But thank you all.
Thanks, Austin.
See ya.
Bye, everyone.